Hello everyone. Today I will be creating a makeup look using it's a black owned business by the name of Fixate Cosmetics, and I purchased these palettes I would say a couple of months back, and I want to review them because this is going to be the start of my series called Indie Spotlight, and I want to promote a lot of these small businesses and cosmetic, skincare type of businesses on this particular playlist of my channel. So Fixate Cosmetics is a company, again, it's black owned, and I'm not sure how long they've been around with their business, but their focus within their company is providing high quality of products, basically for flawless looks and for all skin tones. It's a cruelty-free makeup company. They offer a range of different products on their website, which includes blush and highlights. The blush trios run $12.50. The blush palettes are $20. You have some eyeshadow singles that are price marked at $3.99 and palettes that are $30. You may be able to find palettes like the one that I'm going to review today. So basically it's going to be like a first impression review. This will be the first time trying out the products, which a lot of my videos are based on pretty much first impression reviews. So going back to the eyeshadow palettes, you could tend to find some that are marked down for like $14 if you go on their website and look under like clearance items. They also have customizable palettes in the size medium and large. They're between $18 to $20. They also have glitter pots that are $2 with 30 colors available. Their lip glosses are $10, lipsticks $15, liquid lipsticks are $10.99, lip kits are $20, and also lipstick set is $35. So that's like a matte nude collection. They also have lip liners available for $5 and makeup brushes of assorted arrangements with different types of styles, ranges anywhere from $15 to $24. So this is a brand that is, again, small business and also black owned, and have different ranges of products available on their website. So they also have an Instagram page that you can follow, stay up to date with their releases, sales, or just wanted to get some inspiration from their page and about their products. So I haven't primed my eyelid yet, so I'm going to be using the Milani eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to prime both my eyelids. So as I start to prime my eyelids, basically the palette, well, I'll talk about the palette once I'm done. Prime my eyelids. So we want to make sure we get that done first. But basically, the palette that I'll be talking about, I know I was going to wait till I was done priming my eyelids, but I don't want to just be doing this and I'm just silent. So I might well share information about the palette. So I bought this palette, which is called the Pastel Power Spring 2017 palette. It contains 15 shades of eyeshadow that are matte and shimmer finishes. So I bought this palette on their clearance item when I bought the palette, and at the time I had been given a discount code to use, so I took advantage of the discount code to buy this palette. So it's basically was like a welcome code to use. And I wanted to try the company out. And so I picked up this palette and also another palette that I'll be reviewing, either creating a look on my channel or I may create a blog post about that other palette that I bought. So I basically bought it on discount. It was already discounted or on sale on their website, and then I used the code, and then the code gave me additional percentage off of my total cost. So the palette, what really drew me to this palette was because I love metallic finishes, and I really want to test out their metallic eyeshadows. So this is what I'm trying, and also it's good to support black-owned businesses, because there are really good black-owned businesses out there that needs a lot of love and needs a lot of our support. And since this is a company that supports all skin tones, and I think this is a great way to showcase this company as an indie spotlight. So this is what the palette looks like. So it has 15 shades, matte and shimmer finishes. And I will come back and do brush swatches of these colors on my channel, since I do have a playlist for that as well. But this is what you open up the case. This is what the colors looks like. So there looks like there's a lot of metallics. In here I could count possibly 10. I'm not sure because the website doesn't break down how many mattes and how many shimmers, metallic shimmers. So there could be 10 metallic shimmers and maybe 5 mattes that are in this palette. But again, I'm not positive, but just looking at the texture of each of the shadows, that what makes me draw my conclusion. So this palette is a 22.8 gram palette, 0.08 ounces. And again, this palette is called Pastel Power Spring 2017 Eyeshadow Palette. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the demo. So I just primed my eyes. So I will be going in using my blending brush from Fixate Cosmetics. So it's a standard black eyeshadow brush and synthetic hair. So I'm just going to set my palette down and use my mirror that I usually use in my videos. It's easy for me to access it. So I'm going to go in with a transition shade, which is this brown shade here as my transition shade. And we're going to start from the outer crease and move over. So automatically, I think this shade is a cool tone shade. So I'm going to have to build up the shade. here. Hopefully it's showing up on camera for you all. So I'm just going to blend that into my crease. This, I feel like as I'm applying this transition crease shade, I have to go in and dip more for color for this particular transition shade. So be aware of that. And a lot of the color are really setting into where I would say the start of the crease of my eye is. So the kind of like the hooded part where my eyes fold, a lot of the pigment is settling in that area. For some reason, just feel like all the color wants to settle along the fold of my eyes for whatever reason. When I usually want it to blend upwards to I would say my eyebrow bone. So hopefully you all can see that. I'm going to create a look that will blend with, I think basically it's going to be kind of like a neutral, probably smoky eye. Something's going to blend in with what I'm already wearing. Alright, so let's go in with, and something kind of irritated my eyes, so that's why I started watering that area. So let's go in with a different shade. So basically I'm going to go in with my eyelid shade color, since I pretty much did all my crease area. And I must say I have a little bit of difficulties applying this color into my crease, because for some reason all the main color wants to again sit in the fold of my crease. So just know you'll have to layer this up a bit, depending on your skin tone. You may have to layer that. So let's go in with a lid color. So I'm thinking I want to do, I think I'm going to do like a two-tone eyelid shade. And the first two-tone eyelid shade I think I'm going to do is a gold and possibly like a, looks like a burgundy with red shimmers in it, red gold shimmers. So I'm going to start off with this gold here, like a metallic type gold shade. So I'm going to start with that for the inner part of my lids. And I'm going to apply it dry to just see how it applies. But if I need to wet my brush, I will go in and wet my brush for that application. So I'm going to start inner first. Maybe I'll do one eye dry and one eye wet, so you all can see if there's any difference. Cause I love me some metallic shades. I find it to be so beautiful, especially this time of the year, but for me, any time of the year. I love a good metallic eye. So that's what it looks like so far. So far I really like how it looks, but I'm curious of how it'll look wet, so I'll do the other eye. I'll wet my brush, and I'll do this one dry as I'm doing it right now. And I'm just patting in the color, because I think metallics tend to work better when you pat in the color. And sometimes if you're going to rub, kind of do it in a downward motion. So that's what it looks like so far. And then I want to blend that out, just so I can have a little, so things blend in well, so it don't look too harsh. So we don't want to have any harsh lines. So I'm going to go over to the next eye and wet that brush. Is there any difference? I think I like it when it's dry versus when I have it wet, but that's just me looking at it. It doesn't look too much difference in their finishes versus wet and dry. So that's what it looks like. And then I'm going to blend this in. And then let's go in with the next eyeshadow color, which I'm just going to use my e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush. I don't know if they still make this brush or not, but this has a very like thick head on it. And I'm going to use this. I wonder if I should use a green or this burgundy with the gold shimmer. I think I'm just going to use this color here, which is what I was talking about originally. So I'm going to go in with this shade for my lid to outer crease shade. So I'm applying it dry. And you do see the shimmers, they're very pretty in this shadow. Y'all can see that. And I'm just going to build in the color. And then once I'm done, I'm going to blend it out. So the colors so far to me, I think applies I think they apply nicely and just very softly. To me, they're not too intense. So if you want that intensity, you may just have to build up the layers to try to acquire that intensity. But to me, it gives like a very soft, like elegant look. It's not, to me, it's not very bold. Not a very bold shade. So let me go over to this. The shades aren't really bold is what I'm saying. So let me go over to my next eye and I'm going to wet the brush. So I like to try to give you all what it looks like when it's applied dry and when it's applied wet, so that way it gives some of you all who may be curious to see how they apply using two different applications. And this shade definitely applies better wet. I really like it in the wet application. So you could definitely see a difference in the contrast, wet versus when it's dry. So I definitely prefer this shade wet. I really like that. That's pretty. Very pretty shade. And this brush really packs on this color well. So that's that color. I'm just again going to blend that out. So that's what it looks like. So I'm going to go back in and touch up my transition, based on my transition area, because I always want to give a contrast. So I go back in and retouch that up. Once I'm done applying all the other colors. And I feel like I contoured my crease with this shade, because it has that contour type deep cool tone to it. So this is what it looks like. So I'm done with that part of my eye. So let's go down to the lower area of my eye, and we're going to choose a different shade just to show some other colors that are in this palette. So let's choose, should we choose a green? Maybe we'll choose a green shade. So I'm going to go in with this green shade at the bottom here. I'm curious about this green. And I love green shades, basically of all green shades. Yes, this green is definitely intense. And this is being applied dry. And I'm using my Morphe 3. I'm sorry, I'm about to say 3. I'm using my Morphe N408 brush to apply this. This is a smudger brush. I'm using that to smudge out my lower lash line. So I'm going to do this eye dry, and then I'm going to do the other eye wet. So that's what it looks like. Give it a pop of green there. So let's wet my brush, and let's go in with that same green shade, but a wet application. I really love that green. That green is beautiful. So the shades look very similar. I mean, not the shade, but the finishes look very similar. This is the dry application of the green, and this is the wet application of the green. So you could choose to do either or. But that is a beautiful green shade. I really like this color. So that's what it looks like so far. So then we're going to go in with a inner corner highlight. So usually I don't like to put my fingers in my eyes, but I don't have a brush near me. So let me lean over and see if I can get a brush. Have a brush. So here we go. So I'm just going to use my Fixate Cosmetics, just a small, like a flat shade brush. And I'm going to use this color. I'm going to use this. Should we use a pop of purple for the inner corner highlight, or a gold? Decisions. I'm just going to go gusto. I'm going in with the purple. So I'm going to use this purple here. This purple shadow here as my inner corner highlight for my eyes and the tear duct area. I'm going to apply it first dry. And I love that these shades are buildable. I love this color as a inner corner highlight. So that's that shade. I know I was going to try to stick to what I'm wearing, but I was just like, I couldn't help myself. I love color. And we should all be able to have some beautiful color all over our bodies, all over, where I'm going with this. Just color period, like not be afraid of color, because I know a lot of us have our comfort zone, including myself, but don't be afraid to step into the world of color, because color does make your eyes pop, believe it or not. So I'm going in with a wet application for the other inner corner highlight of my eye. So thus far, I'm really impressed with this palette. I really like the shades that are in it. Some of them apply better wet, some of them apply better dry, and then some are both. You could apply on wet or dry. And I think this color applies better when it is dry. that's what it looks like. I love the contrast of that purple. That purple just pops and just really stands in the foreground to electrify all the other shades. I know I'm getting heavy-handed with this with highlighting this area, but it is so pretty. Okay, we have done the eyes. So last thing to finish off these eyes is to go in with a mascara. And I must say I have fun with this palette and creating this eye look. I think it's beautiful. So I'm just going to be using the L'Oreal Voluminous Butterfly Sculpt Mascara and Black is Black 873. So this is the mascara. Again, I've spoken, I love mascara with combs in them because I like to comb my lashes. So that's the first eye. Let's go over to the next eye. So we are done with my eyes. I absolutely love this eye look. It is so pretty. I feel like a Nubian goddess. It's so stunning. I love it. Absolutely love it. So let's go over to my cheeks. So for my cheeks, I'm going to bronze. I'm going to do some bronzing. So I think for bronzing, am I going to do bronzer? Yes, I'm going to do bronzer. So I was looking for what I'm going to bronze with. So I'm going to use my e.l.f. Contour and Blush and Bronzing Powder. This is in, I think it's in the Turks and Caicos. Is that how you pronounce it? Let me get it. Ooh, that hurt my body churning just now. It's called Turks and Caicos, if I'm pronouncing that right. And again, that is from the e.l.f. brand. And this is what the colors look like. So this is the bronzer and this is the blush. And I'm going to use this Cala brush for bronzing. And this is a brush that I had bought out of Marshall's. So I'm just going to go in and bronze my cheeks. And I'm just going to do it not too heavily because I don't want it to be too dark in my cheek region. So I just want to do a light application. I'm just going to sweep that same color because otherwise it starts to look like I'm contouring. So I'm not trying to have it look like a contour shade. I'm going to keep this Nubian goddess look going. And just want to sweep some along my jawline, some along the edges of my face. I could get this one hair to behave and kind of sweep some in, like buff that in. Just kind of go in. And just a little along the nose area. So that's with the bronzer. I feel like there's hair on my face, especially my nose. Okay, and so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to apply a blush. I'm going to be using my e.l.f. blush brush. And I'm going to be using that blush that's in the same blush duo, bronzer blush duo for e.l.f. And I think because the color is really close to my skin tone, kind of, not sure you're going to be able to see that. I'm just going to stick with it whether it shows or not, because I don't want it to take away from the beautiful eye look. So I just want to keep my cheeks very soft. So that's what it looks like so far. And then I'm going to go in with a highlight. So I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Vivid Bake Bronzer. And this is what it looks like. It's just a nice gold bronzer, but I'm going to use it like a highlighter. And it's called Rock On World. I think this is a really good color, especially for women of color. It reminds me of the MAC. What is that MAC? And I have that MAC mineral blush. I think it's called Gold Deposit, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to be using my Fixate Cosmetics fan brush to sweep this color over my cheeks. So that's what it looks like. Because I don't want to, again, be too intense because I could go crazy with highlight. So I just want to give a nice gold shade. And I'm living for this Rock On World Bake Bronzer. It is so stunning. Just a little bit more. And usually I just gently blend it in when I want to subdue the color. Then I'll go over to the other side. So that's what it looks like. And again, I just subdue it by using my fingertips to kind of soften that out. And again, it's such a beautiful color for women of color, especially when you want to have that gold bronzy tone to your skin. This is a color that look good on my skin tone, and for my sisters of a more deeper skin tone than my skin tone. But it's so beautiful, and gives that pop of that gold. Like, we were meant for gold. Like, we are golden goddesses. So I'm done with my full face, and the last thing we need to do is go in with a lip color. And I'm going to be using my NYX Pro Lip Cream palette, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to pretty much be using a neutral lip. I was really deciding what type of lip I wanted for this look, because again, when I do my eye looks, I never really plan what I'm going to be using. So I usually just go in with the eye look from looking at the colors, and then I plan for the lip color later. So I think I want to go with a cocoa shade. So let's try this brown shade here in this palette. And I'm going to be using my BH Cosmetics Rose Gold brush, lip brush. And this is from the Rose Gold brush palette. Well, no, not brush palette, I'm sorry, from the brush kit that's from BH Cosmetics, if they have that still available. So I'm going to be using this, and then I'm going to apply it on my lips. Because who doesn't like a nice dark lip? These colors are very soft and creamy. But you do have to build them up, which I'm doing right now. Is build them up, and then go back in, probably apply another layer. And I like using this brush because you control the application. And usually, like when you put on, like when you apply lipstick or liquid lipstick from the doe foot or from the actually the bullet of the lipstick, it can get outside the lines. The side depends on the shape of the lipstick or the doe foot. with a lip brush, you control the shape of your, oops, I just dipped my finger into another one of the shades in the palette. Didn't notice that I was resting my fingers inside of that. So again, you control the shape of your lips and how far stuff goes. Because sometimes too, like if you're using a doe foot, it can pull out too much product and it just gets all over your lip too much in one area. And then you have to go in and kind of clean it. With lip brushes, you control how much product to put on your lip at one time. And again, I love watching makeup artists do this to their models or on themselves. You can still go outside your line just like I just did. But it's rare that you gotta go back in and fix everything. So yeah, this is pretty much the look. I really love how glamorous the eye look. I just want to concentrate a lot of the color inside my lip. And I'm sure with this lip cream palette, you can intermix the colors so you could come up with a lot of original shades to wear on your lips. So I think that was really clever that NYX created this so you can create other kind of lip shades with it. And it's not heavy, so if you just want a nice pop of color, this is what you'll get without overdoing your lips. So again, I am done with my look. And I must say, I do feel my Nubian vibe coming through loud and clear with this look. So final thoughts. My final thoughts of the Fixate Cosmetics eyeshadow palette and pastels Power, the spring 2017 eyeshadow palette. I like it. I highly recommend this to anyone who wants to try a new company, a new brand, a new type of palette, especially to my women of color out there. I would recommend this palette. Again, this shadow is for all skin tones, and this is for all ethnicities. So it's definitely a beautiful palette. I love how beautiful the colors look on my eyes, and I just really, really love it. Now, I must say, with the matte transition shade that I started off with, I wasn't really too thrilled with it because the application required a lot of layering and blending to show in my transition, my crease area. And also there's just a little bit of patchiness there, But again, it is, you can build up the color to have it look very nicely. But I love the metallics in this palette. I feel like they are the bee's knees to this palette. And I really love it. I think my favorite colors out of it is definitely this purple and the green. Like I just feel like I don't know, I just feel like an exotic bird. I feel like those peacock feathers, and how peacocks have those beautiful embers of bright like teal and the emerald greens and other colors that are in peacocks. I was just trying to imagine the peacock's feathers, but you know what I mean. It's a lot of the teals and the greens and like the blues that are in their feathers. It just really pops. It looks really nice. And I also like that kind of black and plum shade as well, that has the like red gold shimmers in it that I use on the outer crease. I think that's really pretty. But I just felt like the transition shade needs more, I think, pigmentation to it. But overall, I was able to get it to work on my eye. But I do like this palette, so I really recommend this palette to you all. And I want to also thank you all for taking your time for watching this video and this demo. You can follow Fixate Cosmetics again on Instagram. You can follow their email newsletter. I follow their newsletter. That's how I can stay up to date with any of their sales or any of their new releases. Again, they have a lot of different items on their e-commerce online store basically to purchase. And again, I like this palette. If you like the colors, then keep your eye on it. Right now it's out of stock, so I don't know if Fixate Cosmetics will be restocking this palette. Hopefully they will, because I don't know if it's one of those palettes that they are planning to be done with, because you know some companies come out with palettes that are only for like seasonal type palettes. So I don't know if this is going to be a permanent palette to their collection or if it was just for the spring season. So again, thank you so much for watching this video. I wish you all a really good day, no matter where you are or what day, evening, night you're watching this video. Take care of yourself, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.